Guys, Lencac here. Friday morning, 3rd of July. Thought I'd participate in some Independence Day festivities in the form of slinging some lead down range. So I'm on my way to the range right now. But I figure, what the hell, let's do a little drive-in bumper music on the way there. For my next go at the Gruning at the range, I'm gonna play with some different loadings. Of course, like I say, I was trying to see what was the deal with the N165, as you saw in my last video, but I couldn't find any N165 Vitivori powder. I couldn't find any MR4000 powder, some Power Pro. So the next closest thing to it was Reloader 22, which I have used. Just total accuracy. I'm going to disregard what the muzzle velocities are. I'm just going to see if I can find the sweet spot, because I think I found a sweet spot with that Vitivori N165. But admittedly, it's been a long time since I have bought any Sierra Match King bullets, because I was trying to and they have changed. The Sierra Match King bullet has changed. You see that? That looks like a burger. That looks like one of the burger bullets. You see how they see the difference in the shapes of them? And so that's gonna obviously the new Match Kings will have a higher ballistic coefficient on it. But you see, they've kind of reshaped the whole thing. So I'm shooting up the last of the old 200 grain Sierra Match Kings I got. And today my test is going to, or when I get back out to the range, 55 grains, 56 grains, 57 grains, and 58 grains of Reloader 22. I want to run them over the chronograph and see if I can see if there's a sweet spot somewhere in there. Anyways, it'll just be interesting to see how the Gruning responds to those loads. And something I consider when I'm loading ammunition, and something that I consider, let's take and use one of these because I want to show you what else I'm going to work with too, is I consider how much of the bearing surface is actually pressed into the case. I want to see, at minimum, as much bearing surface pressed into the case as the bullet is wide, if that makes sense to you. So that has some bearing on how deep I can seat them or not seat them. Okay, here's one I think I'm going to take out to the range and work with a little bit. This is, I have to say, this is one of my favorite rifles, and just FYI, this is a Springfield, actually it's a Smith Corona, model Springfield 1903, that I built from scratch. Everything about it, what I started with was an absolutely stripped, bare, brand new barreled Smith Corona, receiver and barrel. And if I remember right, I think it's stamped, I don't know, it says something 43 on it. I can't remember, but it is a military barrel, Smith Corona, four groove. But I built this from scratch. I'll be honest, this is one of my favorite rifles, and I've worked with it some. It's proved to be reasonably accurate always, but at times it's been spectacularly accurate. And what I've done is I've outfitted it with a Leupold Mark IV scope, 3.5 to 10 power, and yeah, it's a pistol grip C-type stock, and all of which handguard and stock are brand new, and is unlike the 1903 A3s, which the receiver originally was a 1903 A3. Of course, I drilled and tapped it to put the scope mount on it. But if you notice, I have put all the I didn't use any of the stamped hardware that the A3s use. I used all the milled hardware from the trigger guard to the barrel bands, that sort of thing, the checkered butt plate and all that stuff. And I've actually put a Huber trigger in it too. So it's a righteous '03. Okay, boys, we are in the process of slinging some lead, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to do my Springfield, my '03 first. I brought the Gruning too, but I want to try this. This is the one I loaded up. Hornady 168 grain match rounds. IMR 4350. I have it in 4 versions of 52, 53, 54, and 55 grains. I want to see how it plays with so-called accuracy and velocities. So I'm going to start out with the 52 grain ones first. And this is a cold, clean barrel, too, so we'll see. I'm going to go for the center bullseye. Felt good. Looks like it's a nice, pretty soft load. 2289. That's pretty soft. $2,289 per second. So that's a pretty lazy round. It felt lazy too, but if it shoots a good group, I'll deal with it. Let's take a look. 2340. $23.37. $23.25. They look like they're pretty consistent though after that first fouling round. Yep, that's where it's at. It's high and to the right. So I might as well finish this load out with that. It's as good as anywhere for testing a group. $23.04. Here's the first 2 groups today with the Smith Corona 1903. And there's 5 shots there. These are both 5-shot groups. That was the first with the slow load, the 52 grains. Was coming in about 23.30 foot per second after the fouling round, which was, I think, that one. So we got 4 shots. They're pretty good right there. We are 3 inches right, 2 inches high. So I'm going to take and do some adjustments. And these are 1 click. These are minutes. Each click is 1 minute of angle. So I want to go down 2 clicks. And windage is a ½ minute of angle, so I want to go 2 clicks. No, let's see, I want to go 4 clicks to the left, to your left. But this is going to be 53 grains of IMR 4350 Hornady 168 grain match round. .2417. 1 inch, only 1 inch high, 3/4 inch right. So I'm going to do 1 more click of windage into it. Looked like it upped the velocity about 75 foot a second maybe on that first shot. We'll see. .2402. Looks like as she's getting warmed up a little bit, she might be coming into where she belongs. .2392. It's right up there next to my first shot since I did the windage adjustment. I held down just a little bit on that one. See where it went. 2417. I think I hold one of my shots there. I'll have to watch the video on that one. But so far, not too bad. Alright, I was holding down just a little bit on that one too. 2421. Those around, that one went exactly where I pointed it. Barrel's getting warmed up. And then 53 grains of 4350. First couple, I guess. Then I was holding off just a little bit because I couldn't get the turret to come down any lower. So it's the very last shot I was holding a little low, and that's exactly where it went, right there. Okay guys, I got a couple different loads here. As you saw, I think I told you what they were, but I'm going to use a couple of these ones I loaded at some time in the past. These are Sierra 200 grain Match Kings, Power Pro 4000 MR, 57 grains of it. And if I remember right, these were sporting about a 2,600 foot a second muzzle velocity. So we'll see, but I'm going to use a couple of these guys to foul the barrel a little bit. $27.50. That's cutting along pretty good. Well, if I'm looking at the right thing there, that was a pretty good shot. It's maybe just Just barely off of the bullseye, about 1 o'clock. $27.97. That's starting to get up there for a 200 grain bullet. In a 30-06. But that one went a little bit right. But we'll see. Like I say, this is a cold, clean barrel, or it was, and now I'm just shooting a few to get it fouled. Get it warmed up, get it fouled. $28.05. $28.30. What I want to try now is I got this thing rolling a little bit. This is going to be some 200 grain Sierra Match Kings. First load is reloader 22, 55 grains of it. These are loaded 50 thousandths off the lands. $26.16. High and to the right. So I'm going to give it a click to the left. 2 clicks down. I'm going to make it. We'll see where it goes. I think it moved exactly where I moved it. Yep, exactly where my setting was. I'm going to move it down. 1 more click. And it was right on. But once again, my turrets are ending up. This is 0. This is back to 0. This is only 1 click off of 0. That one was 26.42. $26.24. $26.17. I'll have to look and see. It's either through my other hole there, or it's just slightly to the left. $26.38, they're pretty consistent. It's up to 56 grains of IMR 4350. Let's see where she wants to go now. Upper left hand diamond. $27.17. Looks like it's pretty much right there. $27.08. Holes right next to each other, I think. That's what it looks like. $27.06. I can't tell. It's hard to say. So I think the only alternative is to shoot another round. $27.15. They're real consistent. It's good elevation, but looks like I might have pulled it just a little bit right. It's always something, right? I don't know, I think I pulled that one right a little bit. 27.31. They're pretty consistent. My last load with the Gruning, that was 56 grains of reloader 22. See, that's pretty good. I think I can work with that. I don't know, guys. That might have been a pretty good shot right there. But I have to run down range and scope my groups out. Okay, guys, that last group, I know, shot pretty good. I had one kind of get away, but there's four of them that are pretty much right there. A little bit strung north to south, a little bit. That was 56 grains of reloader 22 underneath Sierra 200 grain Match King. Looks like it was generating velocities in the 27-30 range, I'd say. Maybe 100 foot a second more than the 55 grain load. I'm going to try 57 grains now of reloader 22. Lower, right hand diamond. Take a look. 27.11. Ah, shit, I forgot I already shot the lower right hand diamond. I'm going to go to the upper right hand diamond. We'll have to compare where that first shot went with the ones I'm going to shoot right now into the upper right hand diamond. See that? I'm just now starting to see some flattening of the primer. 27.38. That is dead nuts. Just left of the bullseye, 9 o'clock. I'm wondering if a grain more powder. I'm not seeing an increase in velocity. Maybe we peaked over the edge, if you know what I mean. 27.21. I have to go look. It's down there somewhere. But you know what? Extra grain of powder from 56 to 57 grains so far does not appear to be adding any more velocity. 2751. It's over there somewhere. I think I'm going to go down and look after this shot. $27.45. All right, guys, that's 4 rounds with 57 grains of IMR 4350 out of the Gruning. And my first round, I forgot I already shot a group here. I'll be willing to bet that that new round is this one right here. That's what I think. I'll have to look at the video and see how it matches up to these guys, but look at that. There's 3 right there. Same hole. That might be a ticket. I'm gonna have to go down range and take a look at it, see where all that nonsense went. All right, guys, you saw that last group with 5 shots, 57 grains of Reloader 22 IMR, or Reloader 22 Sierra 200 grain Match King bullet. I'm gonna work with that. I'm gonna work around that 57 grains, but I still have 4 58 grain loads left here. I only got 4 of them. I ran out of bullets, and so I want to run those through downrange. Let's see how those do. See what kind of velocities they generate. What I did notice is the 56 to 57 grain change in powder didn't seem to render a lot of difference in the velocity. Shot really good though. So maybe that's right at that, so to speak, the apex of the curve. You know. Let's try some of these 58 grain Reloader 22 rounds. Suppose I ought to put my hearing protection on, eh? Don't you think? Hey, huh? Forget about it. Let's check it out. 28.15. Dead nuts left of the bullseye, maybe ½ inch. I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna move it. I'm not worried about the absolute 0. $27.83. I don't know. Hard to say. It might be going through the same hole again. Fortunately, I have a camcorder downrange. You know, I know I'm on the bags and stuff, and this is a heavy gun with a stock kind of conducive for this, but you still got to drive the darn rifle. It isn't an absolute, it isn't like those bench rest guys. I still got to hold it and steady it and all that shit. $27.93. All right, it's starting to look like there's two shots in one hole. One shot right next to that. Okay, that's all of my test loads for, well, no, I take that back. $27.95. Well, here was the 4 shots that I had with the 58 grains of Reloader 22 with 200 grains Sierra Match King out of the Gruning. It's not bad. We're somewhere in there. There's some room to work with there a little bit. I think between 57, 58 grain might be the ticket. If what I'm seeing is what I'm seeing, 58 grains is pretty tight too. Wow.